slow living offers the invaluable gift of mindfulness and presence in a super high-paced world. By embracing a slower pace in life, individuals can savor the everyday beauty that is around them, savor life's simple pleasures, and cultivate meaningful relationships. It fosters a sense of tranquility, reducing overall stress and improving overall wellness. For me, slow living encourages self-reflection, which in the best case can lead to a better alignment of personal values and the actions that you take. In a world filled with noise and hurry, slow living offers a kind of lifestyle that embraces more intentional and purposeful lives. For most people though, and myself included, working a 9-to-5 job of some sort is probably the reality that we face every day. And a job like that comes with a lot of things that usually work against slowing down life. Things like commuting, things like very structured work days. You have things like stressful deadlines, financial obligations, workshops, meetings, calls, and just meeting people all the time. For me personally, when I come back from a full day of busy work, I feel completely flushed by the amount of stimulus that I get during the whole day. And I need some time at the end of the day to recover. But when it's after work, I still have things need or want to pack into those hours that still remain of the day. Things like having a household, maybe cooking, spending time with my wife, working out, having hobbies, all those different things now have to be crammed into a rather small time period of the day after work. And of course, if you cram a lot of different things in a short period of time, that speeds up the time and it goes by even quicker. All these combined factors led me to really struggle to slow down my life. These weeks or months, they just flew by super quickly. And at the end of a week, I really didn't know what happened on Monday because everything just went by in a blink. And I knew this is not how I want to live. This is not a kind of lifestyle that is good for me. And the realization that I truly wanted to change something was probably the most important step into the direction of trying to live a slower life. The commitment to myself and the realization that I truly wanted to pursue this and that I would try out different things to establish this kind of lifestyle for myself was the first and very most important step that I took. I want to live a slower kind of lifestyle, but within working and having a regular free time around me. And there are some concrete measures that I took in order to achieve this kind of lifestyle that truly helped me and that truly give me a much more fulfilled kind of life. Slow living is my goal, is my personal goal. It is the way of life that I personally want to live it. And I can see how it benefits me both mentally and physically every single day. And I personally think that slow living is a choice. It is a choice and a mindset that includes saying no to a lot of things, saying no to things that might speed up your life again. And for me, it was the case that I had to say no to many things and reject them and be quite strict with that in order to establish this kind of framework and define clear boundaries in what I want and don't want. And I have to be honest, not all of them were super easy or comfortable right from the beginning. Being this concrete and strict sometimes can be somewhat challenging, but once I set those boundaries and I stuck to them, it really helped me. Concerning my work, I reduced the days that I work from 5 to 4. That means that I now have 3 days instead of 2, which are completely free every week. That means that the things that I usually would have to cram into 2 days of weekend, I can now spread out into 3 and have a lot more time for the individual things and not be as rushed when I do them. Of course, when you reduce the amount of work that you do, the amount of time that you work. You also reduce the amount of money that you, or the amount of salary that you receive. That is of course the thing, but for me, I personally made the trade-off and decided that having more time is for me more valuable than having some more money. I am not a person that needs a lot of things. I'm quite a simple person, and I don't need money for luxury and very expensive things. I do not enjoy things like that, to be honest. So for me, it was a quite easy decision to have more time rather than more money. I still can live a very great life with the money that I have, but with a reduced amount of work, I can enjoy the time even more. A great benefit from that as well is that I realized that I am a lot less stressed. I am a lot less tired. I am never like needing a vacation, to be honest. I am always like, my battery is always quite full, and that is something that I contribute partially, of course, to working less. Many jobs nowadays are very digital. There is a high level of digital connectivity, at least in the job that I work in, and it is completely normal to have your mail or messaging software installed on your personal phone. And it is also super normal for a lot of colleagues of mine to take their phones and their laptops with them, as an example, on vacations or during the weekend. And so they are always reachable, and they always reply to messages or incoming emails or calls, even on vacation. And this is something that I had to set clear boundaries for myself, but also for the people that I work with, being very clear that I am not working outside of my working hours. I am not installing anything on my personal phone that I can be reached. And if I'm on vacation or in the weekend, I'm on vacation and it is my free time and I am not working. When it is my free time, I want to have the mental capacity to let my mind do different things and not think about work. I want to close like that mental tab if I'm not working. This is a super important boundary that I set for myself, that I do not want to think about work or be reachable for work outside of work itself. Of course, if there is a super grave incident where I am absolutely needed, of course I will be there, but in any other case, I am not available when I am not working. For me personally, work is not my life. I am not working to become super wealthy or anything else. Work is for me simply a means to an end, so I can live the life that I want to live and do the things that I love to do, but nothing more, to be honest. If you move away from the city like we did, of course also some changes in your free time usually come along with that, simply because there is not that much available very close to you where you live. As an example, I no longer go to a gym to work out. I bought some resistance bands and some weights, and I now work out from home. And by doing that, I save a lot of time, I save a lot of money, and also there's no loud music, not a lot of people there, so I reduce the stimulus that I get from this activity, as an example. Maybe you have to rethink, if you move to the countryside or you move away from the city, you have to rethink the way you approach your hobbies. Maybe things that you can more easily do at home are the things that you want to pursue, rather than things that you have to go somewhere to do them, also in order to slow down your life. Living closer to nature and spending much more time in it have been measures that really slowed down my life. It certainly hasn't been this kind of lifestyle all my life. It can be as easy as just moving outside of the city just a little bit into a less crowded suburb where it is closer to nature. That is actually what we did in the first place. We moved outside of the city into a less crowded area, which was surrounded already by much forestry and agriculture, before we decided to really make the big move and move completely to the countryside. Time here in nature moves so much slower than in the big cities or in huge office buildings. Everything here moves in its natural rhythm, which is naturally a lot less in a rush and less hectic. And when you go outside and when you go for a walk, maybe you take a book with you, drink a cup of coffee outside, and you can observe what is surround you. You can see, you can feel the natural rhythm of everything around you. It is not a rush. It is a natural cycle that you can embrace, that you can be a part of if you choose to do so. We as humans, we are not disconnected from nature and its rhythm and patterns. Some of us might have to relearn or re-experience this connection, but it is super easy to regain. It can be as simple as just going for a walk a couple of times, going for a hike, maybe alone or with a person with you, spending a little bit of time in this greenery and just sucking up everything around you. You don't need your phone, you don't need a laptop, you don't need music, you don't need to listen to anything, you don't even need to speak to anybody. You can just be here and observe and feel that everything just slows down. There is so much that you can learn from nature, that you can get from experiencing nature in this very raw, unfiltered way. And if you want to slow down your life, the forest or nature in general is the perfect place to do that. In the end, for most of us, trying to live a slower kind of lifestyle or a slow life is quite a challenge. The world around us is moving at an extremely high speed, and in the end effect, we are all part of it. It is, in most cases, not possible to just exclude ourselves from everything around us. But I believe and I know from myself that by making some smart decisions, setting clear boundaries and embracing slow living as a kind of mindset, that you can absolutely achieve a kind of slow living in this kind of world. For me, I know that I am not there where I want to be in the end effect, and this is a long journey that I have ahead of me as I try to slow down my life even further. And here I would really love some feedback from you. Do you struggle with the same things maybe? Do you have some maybe good measures that you took in order to slow down your life? Some things that you do or don't do anymore that really help you? I would love to get that feedback and interact with you guys. And I invite you to follow along my personal journey towards a slower living. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.